Also new this morning, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is seeking more transparency in the effort to turn a warehouse in Romulus into a mass detention center. She made a Freedom of Information Act request, raising concerns about how little Immigration and Customs Enforcement has shared about what it plans to do with this warehouse. In a statement, she said, quote, Michigan residents deserve the transparency that was promised to ensure the federal government is operating within the bounds of the law and respecting the rights of our state, end quote. So far, ICE has released a floodplain notice for its plans to utilize the warehouse. It says it would be used to provide short-term temporary housing for people in immigration custody who are awaiting processing.